Let's go to Joseph, man, right down the street in Nashville, Tennessee. What's up, Joseph?
Hey, Dr. John. It's an honor to talk to you.
It's more of an honor to talk to you, my man. What's up?
So I am considering, my wife and I are considering getting a divorce.
I'm sorry, man. What's up?
It's due to her alcoholism. She's struggled with alcohol ever since I've known her. We've been married for 8 years. My question is, I worry about if we were to split up. We've got 2 little kids, 4 and 6, and I worry about primarily their mental safety, but also a little bit of their physical safety if I'm not also there to monitor what's going on.
If your kids are growing up in the home of an addict, they're going to have some significant challenges.
Right.
Then dad leaving, yes, that will compound the issues for sure. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot here, and so I just want to be clear about that. Yes, your kids are going to wear a lot of this stuff. When you say alcoholic, what does that mean?
Well, early on in the relationship, she was very volatile. It was more the problems tended to be more bingey rather than like more of a daily thing. So it was more what happened when she drank too much. She had a temper, anger issues, and I mean, there's a litany of things before kids that happened. I mean, she punched me in the face. She threw hot coffee on me when I was driving. There's been some stuff that stuff has all gone away, and now it's more, just daily. She will, she wakes up very motivated and gets stuff done, gets the kids off to school. She's a stay-at-home mom. I work from home, and midday she'll start drinking, and it's between a bottle and 2 bottles every day of wine.
Okay. And
by the time the kids come home, she's just not her best self. I mean, she's a great mom when she is sober, but not as much when she's not, and it's starting to kind of take over, impact every aspect of our lives. She blows off plans with friends. She, she's just not present for the kids.
Yeah.
She's in our bedroom with the curtains drawn and lights off. And they want to play with her, and she kind of shoos them away.
Man, that's hard.
So
What's she running from, brother? What's she hiding from?
I don't know. That's what I've been trying to do. I know that there's something else underneath there, and I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. There's some demons there, man. It's heartbreaking to hear that.
I know that in a previous relationship, she was physically abused one time. So I'm not sure if that's something that she's just never dealt with or what, but she didn't really start drinking until early 20s. So it's not like a childhood thing that started early and just.
Oh man, those things lay dormant for years and years and years.
Right.
Yeah. And the more as life stress piles up, alcohol mimics, in a powerful way, alcohol mimics, it's like a cheap substitute for relational chemicals, for lack of better terms. The chemicals we get from being in relationship with other people, being connected to other people. Sex does that, and alcohol does that. If you look at the 2 big challenges with college kids, and we maybe even talked about this previously on the show, but you take 18-year-olds from all over the country and you pull them out of their home systems and you drop them all in a giant box. You've got 1,000 brains screaming for reconnection, and a cheap substitute for true vulnerable relational connection is alcohol and sex. Does she make what happened now? Something happened now that you said, I got to get out of here. What is it?
Well, there was an affair a few months ago.
There you go.
And that kind of is what started us. I forgave her right away. And
is it a one-time thing, or did she fall for somebody?
It was a texting thing. It was just a violation of trust. And then, I don't believe that there was more than that, but there's been a lot of untruths, and she hasn't really been honest about anything when confronted with stuff like that. And it's not the first time that she's broken or violated trust.
So what makes
agreements in our marriage?
What makes you think? What makes you think they're going to take the kids from you? Where does that worry come from?
Oh, no, I'm not worried about taking the kids from me. No, I'm more worried about if we were to share custody 50-50, her time with the kids alone.
I'm
more worried about their safety.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's been a few instances where I've been worried about their physical safety with her. There's been some times where she's definitely drank and then driven them. Not often, and less so since I've been working from home. Just last year, I started working from home, and so I'm able to monitor. But there's been plenty of times where I've had to go pick up the kids because she's had too much to drink, or she's been out with girlfriends at lunch, and it turns into a 3-hour lunch, and then I call her and I'm like, "Where are you at?" And she says, "I'm going to get the kids." And I could tell that she's been drinking. I said, "You turn around and come home. I'm going to go get them." So if I'm not there to kind of daily monitor what's going on, I'm just worried about what happens. And I don't know. I don't want to try to take the kids from her and try to get 100% custody, but I'm also feel like I'm culpable and responsible for their safety as their dad. And
good for you.
And,
all right. So listen to me carefully. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something hard. All right. This is going to be hard. When you're going down this road that you're going down, right? So we've had infidelity, we've had dishonesty, we've got repeated, we've got breaches in marital trust. And then you've got safety issues, etc. You have to split this in two ways. Way number one that comes first is the safety of my kids. And your instinct is right. And I heard you say it at the end there, and I love your heart. I don't want to take these kids from their mother. And what I would say to you is she is screaming for somebody to please take these kids from me before I hurt them. And you're her dad, their dad, that's your job. Okay? And so any long-term, what's this relationship going to be? I can't believe you did that. You stole my kids, whatever. All of that is in the name of, I'm keeping my kids safe. Think about it this way. If a truck was coming down the road and you saw your kid in the street and you ran out and shoved your kid as hard as they could out of the way of that truck and they banged their head on the concrete and scraped their face all up, what you did was right. Right? That's what we're doing here. We're getting the kids out of the way of a moving vehicle. The second thing is I don't want to read too much into it because you and I just met, but it sounds like you love this woman and you're heartbroken about what's happened. And I would look at custody right now. And if I'm you, if I'm you, I'm going for 100% custody because the kids are going to get hurt. They're either going to get hurt acutely, they're going to get in a car wreck, they're going to get left somewhere because mom drank too much, or something's going to happen. And as you go down the divorce, it's going to get more intense. As her body starts to recognize there's going to be yet another relational separation, it's going to get worse. And then everything is about reconciliation. If she'll do the work to get clean, to take care of herself, to deal with some of this past hurt, whatever, it would fill your heart with joy to let these girls go be connected and present with their mother. But they're going to get hurt acutely. I'm sorry, I cut myself off. Or they're going to get hurt, like you mentioned. They're going to be tortured to death slowly over time by saying, hey, mom, hey, mom, hey, mom. And they are going to absorb the message that whatever phone she's holding, whatever glass of wine she's holding, whatever friends she's hanging out with, they matter more than we do. And here's the problem with this. Your kids know that part of them is their mom. And when they start to hate mom, or they start to get frustrated or angry with mom, they start to hate and get frustrated with parts of themselves. And then what do? They start looking for ways to fill that gap. And thus this stuff goes on for generation after generation after generation. And it takes a dad, it takes somebody who loves these kids like you to say, not on my watch. And so this isn't forever. This is, I'm going to keep my kids safe. If you're going to go down this road of divorce, and hear me say, I'm never going to recommend somebody get divorced. It's a mess. If you do that, your job is to keep these kids safe and to give your wife a path back to you if and when she decides to get healthy and whole. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at the moment. Like literally this week, I told her that she needs to get treatment and get into rehab, or else or else it's over.
What'd she say?
She's fighting me on it.
Okay, then she called your bluff.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm telling you, if you draw a boundary, draw a boundary.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you've boxed yourself into a corner, appropriately so, and now you know what's next, right?
Right.
What's next?
Well, if she decides not to go, then I'm filing.
What's your time limit?
The kids are with my in-laws right now, and I told her I'd give her until Monday when they come back.
Excellent. Good for you. Do not do this by yourself, okay? What do you do for a living?
I'm in finance.
Okay. Don't do this by yourself. It's going to be tempting to get an attorney and just file the paperwork and make this a spreadsheet transaction. Make sure you've got other guys in your life that you can weep with, that you can call and see. Do you have those?
I do. Yeah, I do. I've got two really close friends that I'm talking to daily.
That's so good, man. And make sure you're talking to them in person also, okay? Make sure you're connecting. If there's any uncertainty in y'all's conversation, well, if you don't, I'm thinking about, I think one conversation about fairness. And it sounds like it'd be best to have it in the morning when she's lucid and sober, and to say, here's my deadline and here's what happens after that deadline. And be super, super clear. Maybe even put it in writing. And so she can read it where it says, I love you. You're the mother of our kids. You've been my wife for almost a decade. I miss you. And you're being haunted by demons, and I'm heartbroken. And I can't be married to someone who cheats on me, and I can't let my kids around somebody that they're gonna get hurt, right? And an addict is great at deception, and somebody struggling with addiction is great at turning things around on other people and hiding and dishonesty. If you write this down in a letter and hand it to her, or read it to her and then leave it with her, she'll be able to go back to it and go back to it and go back to it. And at some point, she'll look at that thing and say, this man loves me. This man really loves our kids. And it just might be that she gets a glimmer of hope, a light, a small little light that from your letter that says, if he loves me this much, maybe I am worth loving. And that's where healing begins. Thank you so much for the call, Joseph, man. We'll be thinking about you. Let me know how things go. Give us a shout back in a few weeks and let us know how things go. And hopefully your wife comes to you in the next day or two and says, I'm ready. I'm ready to go get help, and I'm ready to turn this thing around. We'll be thinking about you, man.